The real reason Spotify sucks.
In 1964, Beatlemania took the world by storm. A concert ticket set you back $3.90. In 2023,
$3.90. That would be like nowadays. If you go like a front, like maybe if you get the seats at the back, it might be like $40 each. But if you get like in the like, bottom seats, easily like 80 plus.
The Eras Tour by Taylor Swift drew many comparisons to the Beatles, yet her average ticket cost a staggering $1,000.
$1,000, bro. That's nuts. There's no way people playing $1,000. Like I know Swifties love like Taylor Swift, but like $1,000. Like that's a lot of money, man. I didn't think tickets would be this expensive for shit.
$1,080.56.
Jeez.
Accounting for inflation, that Beatles ticket would cost $9.90 in today's dollars. That's still over a 10,000% increase in the cost of a concert ticket. So what gives? There's lots to blame. Some say it's the artist's greed, others say it's Ticketmaster's fault for charging absurd fees. Yet in all of this, somehow everyone seems to ignore the biggest culprit: Spotify. If you use the app, you might want to think twice before you renew your subscription, as you might be directly contributing.
Nah, I don't use subscription. Like I know Spotify like non-premium is ass, but like if you're a student, like if you're like going to maybe high school or up, like you can do like the student thing, and it's like pretty sure it's a decent amount cheaper, like a student plan. But like I don't use Spotify Premium. I use Spotify free. Sure, you get the 2 bloody unskippable 30-second ads, but like it's usually doable. But if you had the money, I'd 100% get it.
Contributing to the death of music. Streaming service.
Not like the thumbnail say, I actually like Spotify. I know a lot of people do. Like, comment down below if you like it, or if you don't, like why. But I actually like Spotify. Like, it's a free streaming platform. It's not like Apple Music where you have to pay for every song. It's well known, and honestly, it's pretty good. I like the interface and stuff. You make playlists, stuff like that. It's like good.
Completely changed the way we listen to music. It's easier than ever to discover new songs and hear a wide variety of genres.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like if you're a new music creator, like it would be so much easier like trying to get a following if you're on Spotify than it actually used to be like going into like a pub or something and playing music if you get lucky enough. Like it would be so much easier now to just spread around your music.
All while paying a fraction of what we used to. That's great, but it's becoming clear that this business model doesn't work. And we are on the verge of the next musical revolution, with the listeners being the losers. To understand just how badly music has declined, you need to hop in a time machine and remember what music was really like before the internet.
Oh, vinyl, man. I've never listened to vinyl, but like I still think Spotify would be better, man. Like I like it as a consumer of it. I don't actually pay for premium, but like as a free user of it, I actually like it. Like it would be better, way better than buying a singular song for like maybe like $3 for vinyl. You got a vinyl machine and you can't like. Also, a good thing with Spotify is like with Apple Music as well, but Apple Music has to pay for the song. Is like you put it in your ears and you just walk around with it. With vinyl, you couldn't really do that. Like I still say Spotify is really good, man.
Internet took over. Pre-digital
like sure, like it would cost like 10 times as much for a ticket, but I'd still say it's better.
Generally speaking, music was more personal. Your limited collection of cassettes or CDs helped express who you were or who you were trying to be. Your relationship with an artist grew deeper, not only with each album you bought, but over time by replaying them.
You like Huey Lewis on the news?
Sure, it's easy to be overly nostalgic, but some critics argue that Spotify, despite being marketed as a better way to discover music, has ironically resulted in a significantly worse experience.
It's just ads, man. Like, it's just ads. Like, the only thing I know is, like, new creators, Spotify doesn't pay too well, but, like, it's still a good way to get your music out there from people, like, beginners, and it's free, and so everybody will use it and discover them. It's just, I still think it's a really good platform.
Like any other all-you-can-eat digital buffets, Spotify offers virtually unlimited choice and no commitment, which has led to music that often feels disposable. At no additional cost to find a new song, in an algorithm that constantly pushes you to keep listening to new music, it's weakening the relationship you have with a single artist. How often do you listen to albums start to finish anymore? Instead, the focus has shifted to vibes, primarily through playlists, which often feels like the equivalent of taking similar scenes from movies and then combining them to make a
Yeah, but like some people like that. Like I even like that. If I want a good mood, like you go to like happy music, you know, make you feel a lot better, and you still can technically have a connection to like the artist. Like I understand, like still Swifties are still popular as man. Like you still can build a connection with the artist. Like you still have a really good connection with your favorite artist. Like it's still not a valid point to like it's still really
new
good.
movie. The result, a movie that has a repetitive theme, yet no point. Spotify continues to encourage this kind of musical ADHD, even so far as having their artists partake in their TikTok-esque short-form video feeds. This is only the tip of the iceberg for Spotify's problems, but first, let's talk about the artist. Deep down, we all know Spotify's price is a little too good to be true. While digital piracy certainly caused pressure on the industry to make music cheaper and more readily available, services like iTunes with their dollar per song model, in hindsight, seem to be a pretty fair solution for all.
It's still kind of mid though. If you can pirate a song, like you still get it for free, so that wouldn't really cancel it. But like with Spotify Premium, it completely stops it. Like there's no pirating anymore because there's Spotify free, and it's free. Like everybody will rather use it because the interface is better. Like, and it's just better for the artists, but they actually get paid. No, like if you pirate it, I don't think they're getting paid.
All parties. When compared, Spotify's emergence into the music market relied on removing users' ownership and centered on a business model of not fairly paying music artists. If calculated, artists get somewhere around 0.004 cents per stream.
Is that good?
On paper, you might not think that's all that.
That's not that bad. YouTube pays around the same per view on YouTube. It's be very similar. Like per like 1,000 views on YouTube, you might get like maybe around $2, I'd say. So that's like per viewer, that's like maybe 0.01 or something.
Bad. A-list artists have billions of streams, and you'll often see articles about them earning tens of millions from Spotify.
Yeah.
In reality, it's not that simple. Music rights are very complex, with many parties taking large chunks of that income, so ultimately, for many artists, the actual take-home pay is nowhere near that figure.
It's most likely maybe like
Streaming
200K.
world, I can show you right now. They just sent me some from Spotify where I got 1 billion streams, right? My publisher hit me. I said, break that down. How much money is that? That shit wasn't even $45,000.
Oh,
That's
holy
crazy.
shit.
In response to this abysmal pay, a growing number of mainstream artists like Justin Bieber and Bob Dylan have sold off their share of their song catalogs to investment firms. It's hard to blame them, especially as you get older, because it takes years for that streaming income to amount to anything worthwhile. These investment firms offer an
That's
easy
the problem then. Like, what is they gonna do if artists don't get paid that good, and like unless they go tours, and tours are expensive as well. Like, what are they actually going to do? Like, that might actually kill Spotify then.
alternative by giving decades worth of that expected income up front, yet it comes with some serious unintended consequences. Take it from Taylor Swift. Despite now being a billionaire and also having the most expensive concert tickets, she's also been one of the most outspoken against streaming services from the start. She even took her music off of Spotify in 2014. It's a shame Taylor's protest ended in 2017, as just a few years later, she personally experienced what can happen when ownership of music rights falls into the wrong hands. In her case, the label that owned the rights to her master recordings were purchased by mega manager Scooter Braun.
Oh no,
who had
and
a
she would have and they would have sued her for like the rights or something.
history of bullying her.
Ah.
Because Scooter only owned the master recording, Taylor was able to fight back by re-recording her old music, thus creating a new copyright. This became known as Taylor's version. While the
Okay.
re-recording spared Taylor, typically artists sell their share of their publishing rights, in which case re-recording wouldn't solve anything.
You were the guy who said to Michael Jackson, you should get into publishing.
Isn't that great?
Yeah,
Don't you
and-
love the irony?
And he bought all your songs.
Yeah.
And you've said to him, listen, I'll give you fair market value. Let me buy my songs. I want to own them. And he won't do it.
For those artists that
Jeez,
have
man.
sold their rights, you can expect in the future that they will have zero control over how their music is played and distributed. Their music
That's difficult. Like, so if this actually is true, like Spotify might die in the next like 10 years or something. then it almost, but it can't. It's like free, and like if your platform is free, like it's gonna be iffy when it comes to publishing and how much you actually make.
Would be commercialized in ways they would never approve of, like having Nirvana's Smells Like Teen Spirit being the new Fortnite theme song, or Beyonce's Single Ladies being used in a Viagra.
I feel like the only way they could really make money is like selling it to like maybe like news stations. But I'm pretty sure news stations pay for the music and stuff.
Commercial.
I have.
I have.
I have. Genital herpes.
What?
Despite Taylor recognizing some of the issues Spotify was bringing to the music industry, she was able to protest given her extreme popularity. Small artists,
Yeah, small artists that actually don't get paid anything, but if they protest, like nothing's happening because they don't have a big enough audience or the following or even like the knownness from Spotify for it to actually work. So like if you're very small, like under like maybe 100K monthly listeners, I don't think anything's really gonna happen. Even if you like have more than that, even then it's like might not do much.
don't have that luxury. One of the most common ways users justify Spotify's bad business is that although the artist doesn't make much on the platform, the exposure they get is worth it.
Yeah, when it comes to businesses that want to use their music, they're allowed to because like they'll be able to charge a lot more money because, well, they're popular. It's just usually what I think how it
We point
works.
to tons of examples of small artists like Lil Nas X going viral partially because their music was on a platform that required few barriers to listen to. That's true, but exposure is really only great when you're starting off. It doesn't pay the bills. Pre-internet, you could be a one-hit wonder like the Knack and make tens of millions before you even got on stage. The reason concerts used to be so much cheaper is because artists toured to promote their album sales, as that's where all the money was. Today, it's the complete opposite. Musicians of all sizes now make their entire living on the road, causing the extreme concert ticket costs. It's also
True, like you got the world tours, man. I feel sure world tours are really getting expensive now. Like there's so many I'm pretty sure there's so many artists doesn't even have to be the biggest ones that just do world tours, and that's probably the only way they make money because Spotify doesn't pay them well. And even if with like companies paying to use their music, they'll still give them some amount of money, but not a lot. So if they want more money and they want to explore the world, most of them will just do world tours.
extremely exhausting. And for non-A-listers, often it's not even all that profitable. If only Spotify stopped here at killing the artist, but sadly, it's much worse than that. Spotify is ruining the creativity of music.
True, you have to follow a genre to go. But how many like artists there is now? There's no like flexibility. It's basically always like clones. It's just a clone of another clone. Everybody sounds as similar because they want the half of like even a quarter of the views of the big ones get. So they're just trying to copy and copy and copy instead of some random people just thinking, let me make a good song that I would want to listen to. But the people are just doing it for money now, so it's a little get iffy.
You've probably heard complaints that many new trending songs all kind of sound the same. In the era of Spotify, this is not only true, but actually intentional. Artists of all genres are now crafting their music to fit a specific formula dictated by Spotify's algorithms. Now, when structuring a new song, virtually all artists must ensure that two crucial
True, that's why I like songs like, I know like off top, but that's why I like songs so much from the 2010s because like I feel like people had more creativity and the songs were just a lot better, I would say, from the 2010s.
considerations are met.
Half my playlist
To
is
count as a stream,
2010s.
a song has to be played for at least 30 seconds, and if it's played in its entirety, the algorithm will be more likely to recommend it. That alone has changed music forever. To ensure their song is not
So if people want to get like their music popular, they're gonna have to follow the same algorithm over and over. So it's basically a copy and paste with beats, and the lyric vibe is basically the same. So it's just not limiting. It's just limiting for new types of music and like new type of genres. Like in general, like I don't think there's gonna be that many new types of genres if they keep on using Spotify. Oh, this is really interesting.
skipped, choruses are appearing earlier and more frequently, while the song duration is getting shorter and is less likely to take creative risks.
True, like
Artists
another thing that came out, like most songs around like the 2010s are like above 3 minutes, but you go to like newer songs that came out, it's like most of them are like 2 minutes, 3 minutes. It's like the newer the song comes out, the more short it is, so people can get sucked in the chorus and watch it all the way through.
Artists will also fill their albums with a lot more songs, all in the hopes that that will equate to securing more spots on playlists. Ironically, while playlists are a main attraction to Spotify, it's also their biggest flaw. One of the biggest issues is that major music labels are essentially bribing the algorithm by utilizing Spotify's own promotion tools.
What is that face? Jesus Christ! Like that's AI. That 100% AI.
The algorithm by utilizing Spotify's own promotion tools. The core of Spotify's recommendation algorithm is based on collaborative filtering, which is really just a fancy term for pattern recognition. Once paid promotions are added to the mix, these patterns start to lose any kind of fairness. Consider two hypothetical groups of Spotify listeners, Group A and Group B, both identified as rap music enthusiasts by Spotify's data. Using previous feedback from similar users, Spotify filters their millions of tracks down to a list of popular rap songs they might suggest to Group A. From this list, users in Group A receive unique recommendations that are tailored to their own tastes. However, they are all presented with the same promoted song, God's Plan, by the artist Drake. Despite users in Group A having somewhat varied preferences, the majority of Group A listens to and enjoys the promoted Drake song. But watch what happens with Group B, despite not being exposed to any paid promotions. Because Drake's song was previously promoted, Spotify collected an overwhelming amount of data on that one song, mostly with positive feedback from the users in Group A. This will now cause Spotify to likely place God's Plan and other Drake songs on its filtered list of potential tracks they would.
So damn, when it comes to rap, like more songs would basically be it's just gonna be all popular. So like new users or something that's like kind of like exactly what the user won't get pushed in like the list just because more people want to listen to Drake. That's nuts, man.
Recommend to other rap enthusiasts. Users in Group B still get their own unique recommendations, but they're being recommended songs from a list that has been artificially biased towards Drake and other similar artists.
So technically, if you don't like Drake and your guest game playoffs like this, you're gonna always get Drake. So it's just, man, it's not even really tailing then. It's just like you get your little tail list, you maybe have 5 songs, then we're just gonna chuck 5 of the most popular songs that people in your genre listen to. Like a whole genre, not even the side genres that the group would like.
Seriously, this promotion feedback loop happens all the time. Perhaps most obvious when Drake's Scorpion album was released in 2018. His face was inescapable, and the songs were in playlists that didn't even make sense, like Best of British.
What? You're Canadian, you're Jewish, and you're half, it's just like mind-blowing things to them.
Although Spotify's terms of service does not allow direct payment for music to be placed on playlists, their promotional tools are designed to do that anyways.
Jeez.
Small artists with no budget for promotion and significantly less streams simply do not have as much data for Spotify to find patterns.
Yeah, and so they won't get pushed out, and the albums wouldn't, and the list wouldn't really help because it's just all the popular people that have millions of streams, and so many people like them, and it's overplayed, that'll just get chucked in the group instead of these people.
With, resulting in them being drowned out by the ones that do. This is a big reason why artists from the big 3 music labels continue to dominate popular playlists like New Music Friday, Rap Caviar, and Pop Rising. It's not like these big artists are producing better music than the little guys. It's all a game of data points, and it's been abused.
And they've had so much more data because all it is basically because they started earlier, so they're able to build a following before everybody else was able to. So now it's all catered around them. Jeez, man.
Used through artificial popularity bias.
No, I worked too hard. I worked way too friggin' hard for this.
A lot of people work really, really hard for their dreams, but it's not meant for everybody.
That's why you use auto-tune and I don't.
Actually,
it really seems like Spotify wants the little guy to fail. Beyond offering promotion tools that objectively skews...
Yeah, so it's basically, if you want to become like a new artist, it's basically just going to push you out. Damn, this really is changed my outlook on Spotify. I'm still gonna use it, but like really has.
The fairness of recommendations, they also have discovery mode, a pay-for-play model where artists can boost their chances of being recommended only if they agree to give up an additional 30% of their Spotify income.
Ooh.
This puts small artists in a no-win situation. They can't afford to lose any more of their already terrible streaming revenue that they depend on, yet they also can't afford to opt out of the discovery mode program as they risk being overshadowed by those who do participate.
Jeez.
As a final FU to the small artists, they even implemented a recent rule change that songs now must achieve 1,000 plays within 12 months before any royalties are paid, diverting an estimated $40 million from small artists to big ones.
Hey, Bart. Ouch.
That's so mean, man. Like, and no one's gonna cancel it, but everybody likes Spotify because the music platform for listeners is actually pretty decent. It's just fucking creators so much.
While playlists being dominated by big artists is pretty annoying and unfair, you might have noticed another phenomenon occurring. Playlists are also becoming increasingly driven by moods and activities rather than focusing on a particular artist. Whether it's high BPM tunes for workouts or mellow tracks for cooking, Spotify seems to have conveniently organized songs for every scenario.
I think it's a good job though. Like if they put it into a list, feeling what you like want to do, focus and everything, I feel like it's kind of good. Like it's like fills them out so you get like the best music for what you're doing. Like
that's pretty great, right? Well, it could have been until Spotify executives realized there were 400,000 user-generated barbecue playlists.
What?
So what do? They picked up the phone and started calling barbecue companies.
Look, they want you to come to a barbecue. Just hear them out.
Journalist Liz Pelly authored Big Moon Machine.
Barbecues aren't even that good, man. Like, it's all off topic, but barbecues aren't that good. Like, they're so mid, and it's like, it's usually hot outside, and you're in front of, like, something that's, like, maybe 50, 60 degrees. It's, like, so mid. I'd rather be inside cooking, and it's just, you have more control over it, and it's just, you have to bring it out, clean it, and all stuff like that. It's just such a pain for one-time
about
use.
how Spotify pursues emotional surveillance and manipulation for profit. Liz argues that Spotify's push to these playlists is deceptive, as the real reason to define audiences by their moods was part of a strategic push to grow Spotify's advertising business in the years leading up to its IPO. Spotify is really just an ad company in disguise. In fact, Spotify's founders never even worked in the music industry before founding the company in 2006.
Really?
They both came from advertising technology. Since acquiring the music data firm Echo Nest in 2014, Spotify has utilized its data tools to analyze the context in which listening was occurring. By 2016, they began sharing their mood-based data with leading marketing firms as they proved just how easy it is to influence listeners with emotionally targeted ads. In Spotify Ad Studio...
Oh, yeah, so if you're, like, in a good mood, it'll give you a happy beat ad. If you're in, like, a sad mood, it'll give you, like, a sad beated ad. That's nuts, man.
So brands can target any mood or activity from commute to girls' night out. Their extensive research on users' habits are proudly marketed by the motto, "You are what you stream." Their case studies suggest that companies can masterfully exploit Spotify's data to craft extremely targeted ads. For example, Coca-Cola, promoting their Open Happiness campaign, could utilize Spotify's data to identify users in a bad mood and gradually expose them to more uplifting music. When these users' moods improved,
they'll end up
Coke ads
giving
would
the
be
ad,
presented, linking positive feelings with their products. Sounds crazy, but this strategy is so effective that Coca-Cola has since launched their own music label, creating original songs trained on your data, all just to get you buying more soda.
Maybe the real question... It's a little more off topic again. Coca-Cola's overrated. I said it. Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Fanta, and Sprite, all overrated. They're all mid. Like, Coca-Cola tastes like shit. It's just alright. Fanta is... It's alright. And Sprite is okay. Like, they're all mid, man. Like, it's such an if you choose those four like public, unless it's with pizza, but Coke and pizza just goes really well together. It's just such an NPC choice. Like, venture out, try different types of drinks. Like, it's such a mid choice.
We should be asking ourselves is, what has Spotify actually accomplished? Yes, it did help make music cheaper and probably suggested some music you ended up really enjoying, but did we ever consider the true cost? Their advertising strategy caused many to now treat music as a consumable mood enhancer. Artists were robbed of their income, which caused live performances to cost 10,000 times more, all while a few major labels took even more control over the industry. Somehow, despite all this, Spotify has never turned an annual profit. Something is bound to change.
They're always losing money?
Currently, the platform's main cost is compensating artists for billions of streams, and its profitability will always be challenged by Apple Music, which has far more resources at their disposal. Spotify can only operate for so long without breaking a profit, yet Apple Music doesn't ever have to, as its true purpose is to encourage user loyalty to the greater Apple ecosystem.
Jeez.
Spotify does have one last trick up its sleeve, though. They can embrace a whole new era of music.
Like, there's gonna be a video in a couple of days talking about AI, but AI music's gonna be trash, man. It's so trash. Like, I'm not wanting to listen to AI music ever. Like, I'd rather listen to an artist that actually put in the work than some random dude sitting on a computer typing a whole bloody, basically, paragraph or 5 paragraphs of a song and getting an AI to sing it. Like, I just couldn't, man.
The rise of AI in music production is starting to suggest a future where paying artists might become obsolete. With AI-generated tracks already being mistaken for the real thing, and artists selling the rights to investment firms, it's not far-fetched to think that some will sell their vocal likeness as well. This is the next music revolution, and it's happening way sooner than you think. In time, as artificial intelligence begins to produce music that is indiscernible from their human counterparts, Spotify's financial concerns will quickly disappear. No longer will they need to pay artists at all. Their users have conveniently been conditioned to treat music as background noise, to pay little attention to a single artist, and convinced that music discovery...
So this was like the whole plan the whole time, man, but like, it works perfectly with AI music. That's nuts, man.
...is a burden that requires immense technological intervention.
I mean, of all the things I should be able to do myself. Right? How pathetic is that?
Perhaps now is the time to take back control from our algorithmic overlords. For some, that may be by joining the vinyl revival or returning to what...
I don't think vinyl's ever gonna come back, man. Like, Spotify's... Unless something's more convenient and better, Spotify's not gonna die, basically. Like, something needs to come out in the next, like, 5 years that is just better for everything than Spotify. But unless that happens, like, it's not really gonna go anywhere.
...way of piracy. If you choose to remain on Spotify, remember that you don't own your music. So at the very least, you should be fighting to own control of what you listen to. Now, and especially in the future, artists both big and small...
This is what I do. I only listen to, like, songs. Like, I'll like songs, and I'll go for it. And then if I watch maybe out of nowhere, a random YouTuber will just go through the best songs of, like, 2026, 2025, I'll watch that and add it to my playlist. But I really don't use Discovery because, like, it's kind of crap. It's really just overrun by overused songs in general. Like, I'll stick with my liked songs in my playlist.
Will genuinely need your support. Remember, an author's work is meant to be read cover to cover, yet collectively, with our music today, we often fall victim to the urge to skip between chapters. Step outside your comfort zone. Commit to letting an artist tell their entire story, and you might be surprised what you discover on your own.
Well, I'll call it in. This is a pretty decent video. I'm still going to use Spotify, obviously, because there's nothing better, and I don't have the money to pay for anything. But this is the end of this video. If you do like videos like this, like, subscribe, comment down below what videos you want me to watch in the future, and that's me signing off.